I repeat, no one is lucky all the time. Every person you think is lucky had a season in their lives where they kept going when it would have made more sense to quit, especially when there was no progress and no one was supporting their vision. Let's be honest, luck favors people who are committed to the process of becoming successful. The more chances you take and the more often you show up, the more opportunities will come your way. In fact, success is never the end goal because when you succeed, it doesn't mean that you are done with life. It doesn't mean that you should stop developing your skills and stay idle forever. There's always more to achieve and new goals to reach, just like how life is all about the journey and less about the destination. Very often, what you don't see behind closed doors are their insane discipline, tenacity, and perseverance through every challenge, every obstacle, and every setback. In fact, being successful is not for the faint-hearted. It demands extreme resilience. Trust me, behind every overnight success is a period of time when no one saw their dedication to show up in the midst of failures. All the late night sacrifices and years of preparation. You'll be surprised that most failures occur due to circumstances beyond their control, but it's how they overcome the failure that changes everything. So what's the moral of the story? Well, you just show up, endure the storms, and bet on yourself anyway. You have nothing to lose. For those of you who think that working hard is the only way to succeed, you have it all wrong. Unfortunately, working hard does not guarantee success because if it does, the most hardworking manual labor workers would be incredibly successful by now. I truly respect their skill set and I'm sure they worked harder than anyone else in this world. But why is the system underpaying them when we need their expertise to construct buildings, homes, and infrastructure? Let's be real, the system is broken and having to live within the system means we need to rise above it. If you believe life is easy, life is easy. Don't underestimate the power of your mind because your perspective will change the way you see your reality. After all, luck favors those who persevered through in times of hopelessness. Here's the thing that most people don't want to hear. Repetition beats luck and outlive your odds. Look, when you barely started on something, what you really need is patience and time. Besides that, consistency is key, but most people walk away after trying for a month or two when they don't see any progress. This is why real success is not for everyone but the top 1%. Not intentionally to cause misery for the majority, but to set apart the minority who are willing to overcome their fears and not allow failures to define who they are. Let's pause for a moment and ask ourselves, how often do we allow fears and doubts stop us from putting ourselves out there? What is actually stopping us from showing up and being present in the moment? Is it the fear of being seen or is it the fear of failure? The truth is, failure is a big part of life and everyone experiences it at some point in their lives. The longer you run away from fear, the bigger it grows. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment, why don't you create the moment now with everything you have? Here's the problem. Most people have a fear of starting something that doesn't have guaranteed success because they are terrified of wasting their time, money, and effort. They're not willing to sacrifice their needs to potentially gain something if they are not sure if it will work out. But think about it, by doing absolutely nothing out of fear, the prophecy fulfills itself. If you want to shift your thinking, you have to do this. Instead of focusing on the outcome, whether you fail or succeed is invalid, try to see everything as a learning experience. Start small. Let yourself experiment with things without the pressure of perfection. It's okay to be scared. It's part of the process. I'm scared too. The thing is, you have to give yourself permission to fail because that's how we grow. You don't need a guarantee to take the first step. The journey is where the magic happens. What's one small thing you could try today just to get started? To be honest with you, I have started my YouTube channel for a year now, and I have been posting consistently, though there isn't much progress at the moment. If you notice, I have deleted most of my previous videos because I believe it's not good enough and I could have done better. I'm not gonna lie, it really gets harder when I don't see any significant progress because of all the time, money, and effort I poured into my work with zero revenue. At this point, I'm not earning anything, and I'm sure that most people would have given up by now. That's the reality of starting a business. You have to invest your capital before you can talk about profits. I have to admit, there are days when I don't feel like doing this anymore, but I have to remind myself of how far I've come. Having a sense of purpose and fulfillment is what keeps me going. Eventually, I knew that what I wanted to do is much bigger than this, and I have to start somewhere to get there. At the end of the day, if this is not meant for me, I will gladly walk away with no regrets because I have given my all. Trust me, you don't need to be a Nepo baby in order to be successful these days. It's definitely a privilege to have trust fund, financial support from parents, and wealthy connections to create success, but we live in a world where anything is possible now. In 2025, most billionaires on Forbes 30 under 30 are self-made, and that's a testament of how the world has evolved in just slightly over a decade, when majority of the billionaires used to be on the list due to inheritance. Looking back, I realized that some of the big opportunities don't come when you are ready. It comes when you have been constantly putting yourself out there and saying yes to all the little moments, which eventually compounds over time. Everyone has their own fears, but the difference lies in what are you going to do about it. Fear is a basic human emotion, and just like any other emotion, is fleeting and temporary. By having the courage to pursue your goals in the face of uncertainty and confront your fears head on, it will rewire your brain to increase its capacity to succeed, and that leads to compounding your luck. Over time, you will learn to see challenges as opportunities rather than setbacks. Let's be honest, when is the last time you ever feel unmotivated or uninspired to pursue your goals? Before you do the bare minimum to get through the day, think about the endless possibilities that can happen if you just show up for yourself. How you do anything is how you do everything. It's okay if you don't have the energy to be positive today, as long as you decide to show up for the life that you want. You could have slept through the morning and wake up at noon, but there is still at least a good 10 hours left before your bedtime. I get it. There are days when I just don't feel inspired or motivated at all, but I will do whatever it takes to show up for the remaining hours of the day. Since young, I've always believed that luck comes to whoever that creates it out of thin air. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you're poor or struggling to make ends meet. Luck has no prejudice against anyone. Anyone who feels worthy of luck is able to receive it by seizing opportunities that's right in front of them. That's how lucky girl syndrome comes about. Your optimistic outlook in life allows you to capitalize on opportunities that one may miss if they are pessimistic. The truth is, luck is just a strategy. What can possibly go wrong with seeing the glass half full instead of half empty? The best way to attract luck into your life is by expecting good things to happen and be grateful for how far you have come to be where you are at right now. Despite all the adversities you have gone through, you only focus on how much growth it has brought you instead of letting it consume you by choosing to build resentment or stay stuck in the past. I believe that God cannot give you something you can't handle. I knew I was put here on earth for a much bigger purpose in life. I wouldn't have gone through all the pain and traumas if I was not equipped to handle it. Ultimately, you will never know that something you do today may open doors for you tomorrow, next week, or in the near future. You don't have to have everything figured out before you start anything because trust me, no one in this world has life figured out. If you want to maximize your luck, you have to open yourself up to new opportunities by putting yourself out there with discernment. Go for networking or social events that resonate with you and connect with people who are aligned with your energy, your goals, and your values. Who knew that luck will find you when you least expect it? Thank you for watching and click to subscribe if you enjoy my content. Bye!